This is how we see Chicago from our houses, our train stops, and our neighborhoods. For decades, our built environment was manipulated to segregate, disconnect, and exploit our communities rather than to unite us as one city. Our region was planned and built for people with cars, excluding residents who didn't own one from opportunity, dividing communities with highways, and making walking difficult and dangerous. Auto-oriented development contributed to segregation in our neighborhoods and made them less sustainable, less affordable, and less accessible. The legacy of this type of development is still visible today in communities of color across Chicago, perhaps most urgently in the form of lower health indicators and life expectancy. There's higher vulnerability to climate change, and there's community displacement triggered by gentrification and by disinvestment. We launched Elevated Chicago in 2017 to challenge business as usual, to present collaborative, community-led solutions to these issues using equitable transit-oriented development, or eTOD. Transit-oriented development builds walkable and sustainable communities around transit assets, but without a racial equity lens, TOD can contribute to displacement of people of color. In some neighborhoods, it can add to gentrification pressures. In other communities, it can bypass areas in need of investment and enduring depopulation. Equitable TOD pays special attention to the engagement of and the outcomes for low-income people and residents of color, making sure that new development builds on community assets and helps retain existing community residents. Elevated Chicago works on eTOD in the half-mile radius around transit stations in 7 communities that we call eHubs. Green Line South stations at 51st, Garfield, and 63rd and Cottage Grove, the Pink Line California station, stations along Kedzie Corridor at Homan on the Blue Line and Lake Street on the Green, and the Blue Line Logan Square station. Each eHub has unique assets and opportunities, including strong community-based partners, connections to our transit system, and a pipeline of capital projects ready for investment. To successfully implement eTOD, we have organized our work plan in 3 themes. 1, people. 2, place. And 3, process. When we think eTOD, we think of housing for everyone. Vibrant commercial corridors, inviting transit stations with cultural activities nearby. We think about jobs near transit and neighborhoods where residents can walk to everything they need in daily life. Above all, we think about people connecting to build communities together. We are Elevated Chicago.